Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today my group uh, want to present the subject Al-Falsafah Al-Hadithah USI for 2002. Ustaz Dr. Muhammad Muridin Al-Rada Al-Syafi'i. The title is Characteristic of Western Philosophy Ancient to Modern. My name is Muhammad Nazmi Muhammad Noor, metric number 054633.
And me, Muhammad MOHAIMIN bin Muhammad RAZALI, matrix number 054786.
My name is Muhammad HADIF RASDEI. My number metric is 054854.
And my name is Muhammad Iman HAMIZIE bin NASRUDDIN. My metric number is 054825.
Okay, now we go to the introduction of general characteristic, trends, and changes of Western philosophy. Firstly, Greek philosophy started as a kind of naturalism, as the difference between mind and matter is called materialism by some philosophers with a scientific basis. Heraclitus said that reality is changed and identified it with fire, with which he treated as God. A naturalistic approach towards religion can be inward and outward.
Next is about what is Greek thought about some philosophy. Jewish says did not state that will part of man's soul is mortal, but Greek says state that the rational part of man's soul is immortal. The next is Jewish thought establish the love of God and brotherhood of man, and Greek thought study of nature of man and society. Next is the Jewish God as ruler of the universe, a creator but not a figure. He wills but does not reason. The next is the Greek. They state interest in man as a part of nature, but the Jewish says interest in man as a creature of God. And the Renaissance, it was enabled to develop a rational, naturalistic philosophy of the spirit. Spirit and object, faith or religion. Next, the West felt the need to find a tool to unify its people, so was the concept of equality. The next is the aim, the main aim of philosophy. The firstly, the main aim of contemporary Western philosophy is to liberate the outward, the inwardness of man. Secondly, the main aim is to treat the outward as having its own life, nature, and lastly is to discover man for understanding them by the same method. So
Okay. Hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay. Next is historical of Western philosophy. For the fact, the idea of the philosophy start to begin in social tension and the chaos of this world. The philosophy is the result of social exploration of this situation, and this give us comprehensive knowledge of social reality and lead the betterment of life. Historically, many philosophers of Western country has enriched the Western philosophy. Long time ago, Greco and Romania are the greatest philosophers of all time. In the medieval time, the Greek philosophy has influenced the religion, and they made the philosophy about religion. British, German, France, America, and other Europe countries have different about politician and social content. They have their effort to develop the philosophy thought of this as Western. So, at the West, we can find the different type of philosophy with a different tradition. The Western philosophy finds its roots in Greek philosophy of 6th century. Greek philosophy has considered as a starting point for Western philosophy. The latter philosophy has shaped by this philosophy. In other words, the very definition and nature of philosophy of West has identified, continued, and developed further from the Greek philosophy. The Greek philosophy has not only speculated about the world, but also tried to differ from the religion and theology. Greek philosophy was intellectual activity, for it was not a matter only of saying, of seeing, or believing, but of thinking. And philosophy means thinking about basic questions in a mood of genuine and free inquiry. Okay, next is the earliest philosopher. First, Thales, according to whom water was the origin of the world. Anaximander maintained that the origin was indefinite. Anaximenes maintained that air was the source of the world. And last, Pythagoras maintained that the origin of the universe is number. Okay, next.
Okay, now this slide is talking about statements from Western philosophical figures. Okay, number one is Heraclitus. Sleep is better than life and death. Number two, Socrates developed universal truth obtained in logic and ethics. And Plato, greatest philosophical synthesizers. synthesizers. And number three, Aristotle, find three divisions in soul. And lastly, Philo, what was needed was obedience to God's command and contemplation where moral action was transcended. And Saint Thomas uses about five proofs for the existence of God. First, he is the unmoved mover. Second, he is the first cause. Third, he is the ultimate source of all necessity. Fourth, he is the highest perfection of the various grades of perfection. And lastly, he is the very purpose of everything living and non-living.
Next, early modern philosophy. The modern philosophy brought by the system of philosophy which possesses the ideology of Western culture. Among its protagonist figures such as Descartes, Locke, Hume, and Kant. Defining the beginning and end of the period, the roots of early modern philosophy can be traced back as far as 1200s. The most innovative philosophical impulse came during the 1400s with the rise of humanistic and Renaissance movements. Descartes and modernity. Descartes is often regarded as the first philosopher of modernity. He also had radically novel views of the relationship between mind and body as well as God's optimotons. As conclusion, the effect of the development in the world of philosophical thought then emerged new philosophical thinking and modern philosophy and then assistance of these philosophical figures. Besides, the main aim of contemporary Western philosophy is to liberate the outward from the inwardness of man, to treat the outward as having its own life, nature, and growth. Next, the development of history and philosophy. While Western philosophy is rational and intellectual, the origins of Greek Religion can be traced back to Egypt, Asia Minor, Greece, and Europe. Finally, the earliest philosophy was that Thales, according to whom water was the origin of the world. Anaximenes maintained that the origin was indefinite, and Anaximenes maintained that the air was the source of the world. Um, Pythagoras maintained that the origin of the universe is number. The reason the source of the world for mathematics is the subject of pure reason apart from sense. That's all from us. Thank you very much.